Scoville. This is the Lifeboat people. Hope it was a great weekend for everybody. It was a pretty good one here. I got a couple of changes that took place that I think are really for the better. It's a pretty good thing. I'm happy about. I also got a gaggle. I gaggle, people. If you don't know what a gaggle is, I'm not really sure what a gaggle is. I got a lot of goodbye letters. They've been rolling in, people, and I'll tell you, it's it's a very, very emotional thing. Let me see if I got this chat on here. It is a very emotional thing to read these because you you people bring it from the heart, and it's really it's an emotional experience to read these. I'm so touched by all of you that are taking the time to send in these goodbye letters. And when you this week coming up, we're going to be doing one a day. So starting tomorrow on. So I just got a really funny text from one of the crew members because we had been texting back and forth, and he said, "I got to run. I got to go watch somebody on a boat." But these goodbye letters have been coming in consistently, and this week coming up, we're going to be doing one a day, which is awesome. But as I said, what an emotional experience to go through all of them. It really is, but it touches my heart in a way that I can't explain. Charlie Mullins, I love you, my brother. Jesse Brown, good to see you. So tonight I'm also going to be reading my goodbye letter to drugs. The reason is I want the goodbye letters from all of you to be more of a standalone thing, and they go into a playlist that's dedicated to the crew. And I don't feel like mine ought to be in that. So I do want to share it with the crew, but I figured doing it personally here, sort of just me and the crew kind of thing, is probably the better idea. I want to welcome everybody who's getting on the live feed. I also want to toot our horn a little bit. Yesterday's live feed, the last time I looked was above 450 views that we have got on this, and that's just awesome. Ben Genetics is here. Andrew Eats. Andrew, so good to see you. Appreciate you stopping into the live feed. Always great to have Andrew here. And as Andrew, I was just telling the crew, we have a ton. In fact, I think I used the word gaggle. There is a whole gaggle of goodbye letters to drugs that have been rolling in and rolling in fast. It's amazing the speed at which these are coming in. It's so fantastic to see everybody taking ownership of what's going on. You know, really sort of becoming part of this crew, and it doesn't get a lot better than that. Bent Genetics, great to see you. Why do I feel like I was just talking about you or talking to you? Great to see you here. Mark Wages, Mark, good to see you, bud. Hope you had a great day. It was an unusual day, people, so I wanted to tell you about my day. I work at a facility where I've told you about my job. You guys that know everything there is to know about what it is that I do. But I had an interesting conversation with a gentleman at work. I take breaks, and I take the breaks that are entitled. You get 4 a day. When you have a 12-hour shift, you get 4 breaks per day. Well, I had said when I got hired, the breaks in the day, I'm timing at a specific time because my videos post at a specific time. And Alan Ballantyne, great to see you. And because the videos post at a specific time, I like to comment on the videos as they come in. It's important to me. It's a very important part of who I am. Not who the channel is or anything else. It's an important part of who I am. I feel it's an important part of me as a person. I like to interact with the crew. There are channels that don't, and there are some, but in their own defense, that just get so big it's impossible to deal with it. You know what I mean? One of the people I'm a huge fan of the man who goes by LA Beast. Love his channel. I really do. I could watch LA Beast nonstop. It's just for me, he's one of the most entertaining people on all of YouTube, and but he's got 2.8 million or something subscribers. There's just no way that you can interact very much with the, Hunter Haas, another one of my favorite people. Good to see you, Hunter. It's impossible to interact when you got 2.5 million people. I mean, you can make an attempt, but, and I've already been bombarded with people that have sent, you get these unsolicited things that say, we'll take over that for you and we'll do all of your, comments. So that you don't even have to worry about that. We'll just take that over. That is just the most disingenuous thing. I would rather not respond than pay somebody to do it. That's no, I mean, we have a relationship, right? We're family. We really are. It's not a cliche because of the subject matter and because of how you really got to open yourself up personally when you talk about things like this. It would be really sick and twisted to pay somebody to go in and do that, right? So I need my breaks. I'm not asking to take them at breaks that I don't have coming. What I'm asking to do is take them at a specific time during the day. So what happened is they said that they don't like this as an idea. Now, they knew this idea when I was hired. What the guy said was, well, we're going to tell you when you take your breaks. And if it happens to coincide with that, then that's fantastic. But if not, it's going to be one of those things where you just don't, you won't be able to answer it till you get home. There's not much benefit. I mean, I do it anyway, but you really lose the benefit. If you leave a comment and it's something that's from the heart, and a lot of times the comments that people leave, people say things about how many days they're sober, or they say something about, I'm just now really reached the point in my life for the first time where I'm ready to quit. I'm going to wait 13 hours to respond to that person. So I said to the guy, this doesn't work. And I made it really clear when I got hired exactly what I needed. And his response was, well, you really need to pick which is more important to you. Yeah. I said, you're absolutely right. That is exactly what I need to do. I'm glad that you clarified that because, that makes this considerably easier, especially when you put it in those terms. You nailed it right on the head. I need to concentrate on what is more important to me. So, to make a long story short, people, the next job that I get will be structured in such a way that I'm not working when the videos go up. Just plain and simple, because this is what is more important. Right? Plain and simple. And when I'm going to read if you're just getting on here tonight, I'm going to read my goodbye letter on a live feed. As I told the crew when I first got on here today, I don't want my goodbye letter in the playlist with your goodbye letters. I think that it really is. It's a tribute to the crew. In fact, the heading on that is going to be letters from the crew. This is what I'm trying to highlight. As I said on last night's feed, that's the product. You people are the product. The product of any YouTube channel is what you talk about, right? Well, we talk about sobriety, yes, but much of that was necessity, because when you first start out, there isn't a crew to talk about. But I have always said from the beginning that what I wanted this to do is to be a celebration of people fighting the good fight, right? That's what this needs to be. So I don't want this letter in with your letter. But when you hear, hey, Hunter Haas, and I believe I saw Deja. Deja, I'm happy you're here. Deja wrote, just sent something so beautiful to me the other day. I just got a text message from somebody, and don't worry about it. It's all good. I got the most beautiful letter from Deja. It was every once in a while, people, and I shouldn't say every once in a while. That was before I started the lifeboat. It used to be every once in a while. Something would come in and the timing would be epic, where I needed to hear something at the perfect time. And every once, once a year, once every 2 years, somebody comes along and says something at the right time, and it just keeps you going. It just makes you happy. And the beautiful thing about the lifeboat is that these moments where I get one of those beautiful, perfectly timed incidents, now they happen every 5 minutes. They really seem to happen absolutely like clockwork. And Deja's, Yeah, Deja's letter to me just came at a really beautiful time, and I can't thank you enough for that, Deja. I honestly cannot. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Um, so, people, without too much further ado, I would like to read to you my goodbye letter. Now, keep in mind, this was a long time ago, right? This was not something that I wrote today. This is so you'll some of it's going to seem incongruous because of when it was written, but you understand that this was an exercise that I did more than 6 years ago. So um, the letter starts out, they call you Chiva, which sounds an awful lot like Shiva with an S as opposed to a C, and that is the goddess of destruction. There could not be anything more perfect because what you do is destroy. Boy, Chiva, we have spent a lot of time together. It feels like a lifetime since we met all of those years ago. I was little more than a boy when you promised me you could take away all of my pain. And you were right, by the way. I won't deny that you took away pain. You took away emotional, physical, and spiritual pain, but what you didn't tell me was what else you would be taking away. It started slowly in the beginning, first with my free will. I could no longer pick and choose when we would spend time together. You demanded my time, and I gave it to you freely. But that wasn't enough to satisfy you. So you took my money, my family, my children. You took any friends who didn't want to spend time with you, and you made me send them away. You took away my God. You took away the only woman who I ever loved. And still, this was not enough to satisfy you. Now give me your health, you said. So I used you until my health was destroyed. I no longer had any veins, and after 2 strokes, laying in a hospital bed hurting and having friends sneak you in so that I could still continue to spend time with you in the hospital. But again, this was not enough. And I understand. I was in love. I was so in love with you, I couldn't walk away. I was all alone. I had given up all that I loved for you, even my health. And when I thought for sure that this would be enough to satisfy you, instead, you decided that my friends who did hang out with you needed to die, just to satisfy your hunger for destruction. I've lost count of how many you've killed. Finally, when I had nothing left to give, you took my freedom. And prison was awful. It was hell on earth. But you told me not to worry about it. You could take away that pain too. And you did. Until one day when I was stabbed, I got thrown into solitary confinement. And no matter how hard you tried, you couldn't get back there to help me. So I was left alone in a cell for 28 days. Although alone may not be the right word. You see, I spent those 28 days in a cell, just me and a friend that you had made me give up years ago. It was just me and God. No, let me take that back. It was me and my God. So this is it, Shiva. We're done. I can almost hear you laughing now. You'll be back. You can't live without me, you'll say. Well, I can, and I will. Just wait and see. And here's the thing, Shiva. You made a huge mistake by not killing me. I think you let me live in hopes that I would continue to bring more people to you so that you'd have more slaves to satisfy your insatiable appetite for human misery. But not only will that never happen again, no, I'm never going to bring anyone into your presence again. But when I get out of this hellhole, I'm coming after you. See, I'm not just leaving you. I'm going to teach others to leave you. I'm going to teach others that they can live without you, and that the fact that they cannot survive without you in their lives is a lie. And then I'm going to do everything that I can do for the rest of my time on this planet to make sure that you don't prosper. Keep laughing, Shiva. But I promise you this. I may not ever win a war against you. I realize how powerful you are. But I'll tell you what, I'm never going to stop trying. And I'm going to win a lot of battles along the way. So this is goodbye for now. But the next time I see you, I promise you we will be at war. People, I wrote this letter a really, really long time ago. And it took the better part of a week of digging through. When I tell you that I wrote in prison, I have 12 of these, right, that are filled from one side to the other. So when people talk about going on and continuing to make videos and continuing to do things, the fact that I had 6 years to prepare for it helped. But this letter was written so long ago. It's funny now to go back and read it, hindsight being 2020, because now here I am, and very much doing what I hoped and dreamed that I could do. You know, that was one of the goals, was to come here and to have an opportunity to make this happen. You know, and it's a blessing. that all of you are now writing these letters. I can't tell you how much it touches my heart reading them. I got one today that right before I went live, I got one. And um, I won't tell you who it's from. I can tell you who it's from because I'm not going to tell you the content. But Mitchell wrote a letter that just is phenomenal. And you're going to hear it this week coming up. It's going to be one a day, right? Every day we're going to be doing at least one goodbye letter. And it really is going to give you some insight into who the other people on this boat are with you. People who are fighting the good fight every single day. It's not easy to stay sober, people. It isn't. And if you think that the journey is going to be easy, I mean, then you're deluding yourself. This is it's a daily struggle. It's a daily battle in order to try to stay sober. But the things that make it easier are the things that we're trying to do here every day, right? To support one another with love and to be here when someone says I need you. It's really a unique thing. I heard a horror story earlier about someone that right now is going through a battle with cancer, and apparently there's a lot of support groups on YouTube for people who are suffering with cancer, and people show up and to heckle them. That's the reality of the world that we live in. And you people saw my daughter on the live feed. She's been on a couple of them. I've asked her now to try to refrain from it. She's already having people go after her. Since last night's live feed, there have been people that have been in the process of tracking her down. It is what it is, people. I'm not coming on here to lament. What I'm coming on here to do is say everything that we can do to keep the love going. It really is the message of what we have going on here. It's painful when people go after the people you love, and it says a lot about society. It says a lot about what feeds people these days, right? If you were been with me from Jump Street, I did a video a long time ago about feeding either the white wolf or the black wolf, or maybe it was gray. I can't remember the colors. It's from a trailhead in California where you park your car to start hiking. There is a story there, and it's about an Indian tribe. I went over this with people on a video. I'm rehashing this because I'm assuming a lot of people haven't seen it. But the point of the story is there were two tribes that would get together and fight at the beginning of every season, and the winner would determine where things were planted, what was planted. See, these two tribes would basically coexist, but they would lose men every single year. This was not a fist fight. This was a battle to the death. And one of the old wise men of the group said, why don't we fight our dogs? Now, before you send me an email, because I got them last time, that says, how is it better if we let dogs fight? People, just suspend this disbelief for a minute and listen to the story, please. They would train the wolves to go and fight. As opposed to losing their boys, they would have one dog from each crew fight. And the old man said to keep it fair, he would take the wolves for the last week before the fight, and he would take care of them. That way they were protected. Nobody would be going after him or whatever. And the first year, the white wolf won, and that group got to plant and do whatever it had to do. The second year, it was the black group, the black wolf. And this went back and forth. And it was basically every year. It just went white, black, white, black. And as the old man was getting to the point where he was going to pass away, somebody said to him, we've just been so blessed. The gods have really looked down on us, that it happened this way. And he said, no, I starved one of the dogs for a week before the fight so that it's not strong enough to go in there. But the point of the story is that in our lives, we feed one or the other, right? You're going to feed the positive wolf, or you're going to feed the negative wolf. And when I say that I want the default setting to be Chi-Chi, that really is, feeding the positive wolf. Today is her birthday. Today is Fiona Crispin, Lady Fiona Crispin's birthday. And two people that no matter what happens, no matter how much filth gets tossed around, this is somebody that spends all of their time fighting to make sure that they keep a positive outlook on life, that they continue moving forward, and that really is the goal. As far as anyway, I just saw something scroll up the screen. if someone wants to be positive, they're always welcome here. We want individuals to come here and be positive. We want people who are going to try to fight to get sober. We want people that are going to fight the good fight. People who come to disrupt, no, there's not a lot of room for that. There really isn't, and that is sort of the nature of what we've got going on. If you're sick of hate, you're in the right spot. If you're sick of hate, you're in the right spot. Make yourself comfortable. We'd love to have you. If you're sick of hate, make yourself comfortable. Truthfully, we want you here. That's the best message I've ever read. And if that's the truth, everybody, give the man a hug. That's exactly what we want. If this is somebody that is sick of hate, that's fantastic. But if that's not the case, then there's just no room. People, this week coming up is going to be packed. I think that what will probably happen is live feed is each night is going to be the split screen live feeds, so that as opposed to just me sitting and talking to you all, what we're going to be doing is highlighting somebody from the crew fighting the good fight. That's really the goal, right? So there will also be a letter that is getting posted at 5:00, right? So then when the 5:00 posting goes up, that's going to be a goodbye letter from somebody from the crew, and that's going to be Monday through Friday this week without a problem. The rate that they're coming in, I would imagine it's going to be a very, very steady part of what we do here, because there's just so many people who are taking this seriously. For those of you who weren't here last night, I don't want to rehash going through it again. You can go back to last night's feed and watch it. I try to give you a bit of a guideline for those of you who say that you're having trouble getting started writing a goodbye letter. You can go and listen to it in greater detail, where the way it was structured for me too was I had heard it discussed where there's about 5 things you need to tick off. What it was like when you first met him, all the way down the line, and that's in last night's feed. You can go and get a listen to that. But we want to make sure that that the world and that the crew that's already here gets an idea of what we're doing. The world will see through the letters exactly what's going on at the lifeboat, and the crew through these letters will get a much better idea of who is with them on this boat, and that's a really, really positive thing. It gives you an idea of who you can reach out to. If something is really a struggle with you and your drug of choice is alcohol, then you can reach out to someone who has fought the good fight and beat alcohol. If if your drug of choice is heroin, by these goodbye letters, you're going to have a very good idea of who is not just a crew member but is a resource. People, the only thing that keeps you sober when you can't get through yourself is somebody else that's already done it. This is not a unique thought on the lifeboat. This is this is a thought that I don't care what kind of rehab you have picked. It is across the board. AA, NA, even the programs that have gone out of their way to not be NA or AA, there always is an element of needing to basically have that human interaction. It's the illustration that people use all the time of being in a forest. Getting your way out of a forest when it's dark is almost impossible unless you got somebody there that's done it 4 or 5 times. People who have been able to successfully get their way out of a place like that can always lead someone else out, and that's really, people, that's it, right? That's what we're doing. We're trying to lead people out of a very, very dark place, and that's the nature of this channel. It's the nature of rehabilitation, and I'm proud of everybody here for just how positive everyone has been. As I said, today is the birthday of Lady Fiona and of Chi Chi. I don't know that we have sufficiently embarrassed them, so I would definitely like to just one more time give a shout out to them for just being positive and just being here constantly, and being a light when things are not always great. They really go out of their way to just be loving, and it's an amazing story. If you don't know the story, these people are born on the exact same day, just a world apart. One girl born in Canada and the other born in Australia, but 2 people that If they really were blood sisters, they could not be more alike. In fact, if they were twins, they could not be more alike in attitude, in the way they communicate. Everything about them is so similar that it's almost bizarre. It really has become I don't know, it's enough to make you believe in magic. If you meet these two people and realize that the fact that they were born on the same day is not as crazy as you think, right? I mean, if you talk about the same year, so the odds are 1 in 365, which is pretty darn slim if you think that a roulette wheel has 38 spots on it, right? Make a roulette wheel with 365 spots on it, and they had to hit that number, but they also had to hit the same year, right? So it's a pretty unusual coincidence. And for them to just meet up, period, is bizarre. But the fact that they met up at a place where the entire presentation of what we do is based on the fact that all of us have overcome some pretty tough stuff in our past. We've all wrestled with addictions. Here are two people that have overcome the demons that they struggled with earlier in life. They're both at that phase. They're not here because they need help. They're here because they want to give help. You understand? Both Fiona and Chi-Chi are not here because they're in the life. They're here because they're out of the life, yet feel the desire and the need to come and help people who have the entire, the entire battle still in front of them. That is that's really a message. That is, and that's the nature of who these two people are. So if you get a chance, wish them a happy birthday. I guess technically, Fiona's birthday will be over already. That's something that, because of she lives on the other side of the international date line. So for Lady Fiona, it is not the 3rd there right now, but we can still wish her a happy birthday. Also, we're going to see a little work. Her son is a really talented guy that's been doing some graphic design stuff for the channel. It's a young kid, but you wouldn't believe the stuff that he can do with computers. It really is just a beautiful thing, it really is. So it's nice to see the community sort of grow and take shape. People, we're going to endure growing pains. It's part of what we do. It really is. But if we set our default setting to Chi-Chi, then beautiful things are going to happen. It really is. And you know what, people? Day in, day out, there's a mission here. It's cut and dry, right? If a YouTube channel is successful, and it is successful over a period of time, it will be so for one reason. Not the host, it will be the message. If you take apart carburetors, but you're showing something to society that is a benefit, people are going to make that channel successful. If you are talking about how to make the best chicken masala in the world, you're going to be successful if that is what you do. But our message, people, can't get sidetracked by anything else. It is the most important thing that we have going here. It's awesome that we all love one another. It's awesome that we're all here to support one another. But the mission is as much to show the outside world what is going on as it is to support one another. And if the outside world sees anything here but love and support and a clear definition of what the mission and the product is, then we're not going to get to the finish line. The mission is to let people realize that addicts are people too, regardless of what has happened in our lives, regardless of the fact that we are still working on a regular basis to try to overcome a disease, right? A defect in the brain that causes people to not be able to say no. You understand? It is a defect in the brain, pure and simple, that keeps people from being able to control themselves. It's not the fault of the individual, at least not once it gets rolling. The beautiful thing, people, is that it's a matter of staying consistent. And if you believe in what the goal is, it should be very easy to stay consistent, right? To show the world that addicts are people too, and to give them a place where they can come and feel safe. The reason that it is necessary to block people, the reason that it is necessary to delete comments, is because there are people that want to come here and disrupt what is going on. Plain and simple. That's as simple as you can put it. And the really sad thing is, a lot of them need help more than anyone in the world. what you can do is pray for them. These people come here under the influence. They come here drunk.